Hello, hello. Happy 2026, everyone. Welcome back for a final, I guess, the season finale. I guess literally the NFL season finale of Launch Coach Football. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Chelsea. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. And I guess we usually like to have like an episode where we talk about the games that we're interested in, the games so the big games going into week 18, the final week of the regular season. Let's be real, there's only three games that really matter at the end of the day. There's only three
You're
games.
telling me no one cares about the Colts and the Texans?
You see, people, I think that would have been create a better, more important game if it was the fact that the Titans weren't playing the Jaguars. The Jaguars just need to win, and they're the top seed, and they win the NFC, AFC South. But they
Hey, the
played
Titans, they won last week, though.
against the Raiders.
I mean, they did. I
Not
mean,
the Raiders.
let's
Because
not lie.
I'll say this the same thing I tell Matthew. Like when he's like, this could happen, and I just say, okay, put $5 on it. And he's like, okay, I'm not that confident anymore.
He's like, I fear I'm not that confident.
I'm like, so yeah.
Actually, I take it back. The Titans lost. They almost won, though.
We get
I said that with so much confidence. No, they definitely lost last
They're in the
week, but
locker
that's
room.
fine.
We get an A for effort, everyone.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
job.
You're welcome, everyone. Happy New Year.
But
Clearly, I'm not in it yet.
the three big games of this upcoming NFL Week 18. It's the two Saturday games and the last game, and technically the last game of the regular season. You got Seattle traveling to San Francisco. We got who was it? We got the Steelers hosting the Ravens at the end of on Sunday, and then we have the why am I blanking on the last game? We were just talking about this.
Carolina, Tampa Bay on Saturday at
That's why I'm
4:30.
that's why I'm blank on it because they're probably going to lose in the first round. Anyway,
Ah,
uh, I joke, but it's actually I
I
joke.
could joke right back about the Steelers or the Ravens, but that we'll save that for that topic.
That's not even a joke. That's just accurate.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
But you know
actually
what?
so true.
As someone, we're both in Carolina. We're both in North Carolina. I was literally just in Charlotte a few days ago, like 20, 30 minutes away from Bank of America Stadium. It's good to see a Panthers team that's respectable. It's good to see as I'm driving back. Just hearing on the radio, guys, we got a big game coming on this Saturday. This is for the playoffs. We're gonna be hosting a playoff game. That's nice to hear.
It's just nice to see the fans happy.
It's nice just the excitement in the air when you have a really good your city and your state have a really good team. Because Lord knows that's not been the Hornets for years.
Yeah, that's true. Though they have a couple good players on their team now. They have that dude from Duke, Knipple or whatever his name is. He's
Yeah.
pretty good. But yeah, no, it's nice to see Panthers fans happy. My husband is a Panthers fan, and he's pretty much perpetually unhappy since 2015. So it's been a rough go for Panthers fans, but it's nice to see them happy and have some semblance of hope. Now, I mean, most fans recognize that this is probably not a team that's going to win the Super Bowl unless they go on some crazy hot streak or something. But it's just nice to see them happy. Like, it's nice to see the stadium full. Like, it's nice to see there be excitement in the stadium. Because when the Panthers played the Colts, what was it? Was it last year or 2 years ago? I went to that game because, of course, when we played the Panthers and we had a pick six, I think, in the first quarter. And then I think we had a second one later in the game. Literally in like the second quarter, people were leaving the game. And I'm in the stands
Oh
like,
yeah.
woo, having the time of my life. And my husband and my brother-in-law are like hating their lives because they're Panthers fans.
And it's like,
But it
what's
was just like so despondent, you know what I mean? To see everyone at that game compared to now, we know some people who went to the game on Sunday even though they lost. They said the atmosphere was crazy. So it's just nice to see the fans happy.
I remember like it was for Thanksgiving. And I remember my cousin, when I was in Charlotte, like, yeah, I'm taking my girlfriend to a Panthers game. And like, oh. And like who are they playing? The Rams. Like, oh, that's not gonna be a good start. And then they won. I'm like, I guess he knew something.
You're like, wow, great game to pick, dude. Clearly, I was just underestimating you.
It was just so yeah, all these games matter in terms of just it depends whoever wins this game in the NFC South is the winner of the NFC South and is hosting a playoff game. Whoever wins
That's so crazy.
whoever's host wins the game in the AFC North and the Steelers and Ravens, they're gonna be hosting a playoff game. And the San Francisco game, whoever wins that not only wins the NFC West, it goes through they basically goes through their whole NFC playoff goes through their city. They hit the number one seed. They get home field advantage,
It's
which is
crazy that lasted this long. That tells you how crazy of a year it's been, that we are still vying for the first overall seed. Honestly, in both divisions this week. We're not highlighting the Jacksonville game because they're playing Tennessee, and more likely than not, they will win. But Jacksonville and Houston has come down to the last week as well.
and who had that who no one had Jacksonville doing. Well, actually, we have to go back and look at the go back and look at
I think
all
I had them
preseason
finishing
predictions.
third
Yeah,
or
so
second. I think I had the Colts third. I think I had Jacksonville second, Houston first, but don't quote me on that.
but again, no one thought Jacksonville would be anything that special. No one thought Houston. Well, after like what 5, 6 weeks ago, we all thought Houston was kind of done for after they start off the season so slow. Like San Francisco, we've been predicting their downfall since before Halloween. Who knew Sam Darnold was look like this for Seattle? I know he had a great season in Minnesota, but who knew this was going to happen in Seattle?
Outside of that one game where he had five interceptions, the Seattle fans don't want to talk about that. But outside of that, it's fine. Everything's
It's,
fine. It's fine.
speaking of bad interception game, the Rams had shot out that was shot of it, and then man, not Don Stafford,
Bad day for Stafford.
he really hurt his MVP chances. Like that was
Oh,
hamstring.
that relates. That reminds me. If you guys saw, we did a post on Tuesday about if Drake May should win the MVP or not. You guys were very passionate on TikTok about whether or not he should win the MVP. It was mostly Drake May for the MVP, but all the dissenters still had Stafford even after that game. So it'll be interesting to see what happens because I think both have a shot at it. But I'll be interested to see. I'm really not sure who's going to win it. But you guys were very passionate. There were a lot of yes, 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 yes. My phone was like ding, 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 ding. I was like, wow, the people, they want to be heard.
The people must be hood. Oh, and New England fans are just like, we got life again. Time to get back back for our old
It's
arrogant
like the
selves.
memes of Drake May's wife like doing the bake miss or whatever, where she would get on TikTok and she would post all of the desserts she was making Drake May in the month of December, and all of the Patriots fans commenting under the TikTok were like, "Continue feeding our boy. Thank you. Make sure he eats his vegetables." It was hilarious.
Oh man. But well, we go one of these like I guess in terms of the Steelers and Ravens game and the Tampa and Carolina game, one of these teams going home and one team is staying. For the case for I think out of the 3 out of the 4 teams, honestly, outside of Carolina, this could be the end of the coach's respected tenures because Todd Bowles, man, it seems like the team just kind of quit on him. But and Tomlin and Harbaugh, they've had like there has been on a they've been on a hot seat for a few years now, and for them to lose and for them to potentially lose the division after well, the Ravens having a lot of hype going into the season, the Steelers having the division lead seemingly locked up at the by the middle of December. Yeah, Canales is the only one that has that still has a shot in terms of
Yeah,
Canales is
it's
safe.
pretty, yeah, Canales is safe. It's pretty crazy to think about the fall from glory, right? Especially for Harbaugh and Tomlin. Because, 10 years ago, no one would have imagined, really
No.
seriously taking it serious that they could get fired. But here we are, about approaching 2026, now in 2026, if you're listening to this episode on Thursday. So pretty crazy to think about. Daniel, who do you have in the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game? I mean, I'm assuming you're going to pick Pittsburgh, right? I mean, I can't imagine you wouldn't.
Huh, who do I have in this game if this focuses at some point? Who do I
Mm,
have? It doesn't start on focus. Who have I have in this silver and black garb I have on? Okay, here's the thing. The issue is going to come down to whether or not Lamar plays, and if he plays, how effective he is. I like Snoop Huntley. I think
me too.
Huntley's a very good backup quarterback. I can't see him being the guy to take him over the edge in a winner take all game. I st
Agree.
I'm still worried about I'm always going to be worried about Derrick Henry, but Pittsburgh has generally a decent run defense, so you can quote unquote slow him down, but like he's still going to get his numbers, but he's not going to have a game like he had last week against the Packers when he
After I was out of the playoffs in fantasy, by the way. No, I said
just
that last week, just
just
so
ha
everyone remembers.
just gotta remember that. Just yeah, so I don't think he's going to have another 36, 215, 4 touchdown game. Knock on wood. Um, and also
On Saturday. So, guys, guess what happened? Or on Sunday, guess what happened?
oh no, that Monday I'll just be like, you know what? I think I'm going down with a case of strep. I think
You'll
I'm
be like,
going,
I hate everything.
but no. So and also TJ Watt has been practicing. I assume he's at this point it's going to be a game time decision. Same thing with Lamar. We're not sure, and those are if the two best
I don't
players.
know how Lamar doesn't play in this game.
He had,
TJ, I can understand because of his lung, but how do you not play in this game?
but here's the thing: Lamar has missed. Like this isn't the first year that he's missed like a winner take all games. He's missed playoff games. He's missed games at the end of the season. He's already missed games this year for a separate thing. Now it's his back. Lamar's he unfortunately he's been injury prone the past few years, and I can see him. I can see the Ravens maybe being believing that Huntley can take him over the top and beat Pittsburgh. The biggest issue with Pittsburgh is going to come down to the fact that they just don't have catches right now. They don't have DK, which I didn't think the suspension is biting them on the butt like really bad now at this point. Don't know
I
what.
thought it was going to have more of an impact than you did, and I don't even think that DK is like a top tier receiver, but I mean he's the one number one in your guys'
Yeah,
offense. I mean, I figured it would make some degree of a difference.
to me it made all the difference. Last, I think, honestly, it's hindsight, but they wouldn't. They beat Cleveland. They had DK Metcalf. If they have just one guy that can get separation or one guy who would win a one-on-one matchup, DK Metcalf's that guy, and they would win that game. They had him on the team. Donald Washington breaking his arm was an unforeseen
It's a big
circumstance.
loss.
Literally
At
a
least you
big
still have
loss.
Fryermuth.
No, that's the thing. You still have Freiermuth, you still have Jonnu Smith, and you don't even have Calvin Austin. Austin's out. Pittsburgh doesn't have pass catchers, and that's going to be the biggest problem that's the biggest problem in Cleveland. That's going to be a problem now, even though Baltimore doesn't have a great pass defense. I still think you still need to have someone that you can. Rodgers doesn't have anyone he really can trust go off the top with. So I can see this being like a 17-13 game. I can see this being the Steelers won early this season 27-22. So it was a fairly high scoring game, and I don't think it's gonna be anywhere close to that high scoring at this point, unless you have some crazy special team or defensive touchdowns. This is gonna be I would be somewhat surprised if either team gets into the 20s.
You need your running backs to go off this week
I need
because
my
I know
running backs.
they had a bad week last week. Both of them did. You need them to go off this week, especially with DK out and especially with Washington out as well. That's probably going to be the determining factor in this game, if I had to guess, is the running back's ability to catch passes for the Pittsburgh offense, especially on screens and slants and things of
hmm
that nature. Like if you can pop a slant, you could score an 80-yard touchdown. Those guys are fast enough to do that. So I think that's going to play a big role. You guys are going to need to take a wide receiver one in the draft, though. I mean, I don't know how you don't take receiver in round one. Hey, Matthew Lemon, you might have to trade up to get Matthew Lemon out of USC. That dude is good.
Here's the thing. Pittsburgh, they have a good history of drafting receivers and with day two and day three picks. I don't remember the last time they drafted a receiver the first round pick, but all the great receivers they've had in the past, honestly, since Hines Ward has been like later picks. It's been he who shall not be named that was on the man cover was a fifth round pick. You had Emmanuel Sanders wasn't a first round pick. Mike Wallace wasn't a first round pick. Recently,
Still, though, you still might need to swing on someone in the first. There are supposed to be
oh,
some pretty good receiver prospects.
Pickens wasn't a first. Pickens, well, that's because his knee blew out, but he was projected to be a top five, but his knee blew out. So they might swing on a receiver prospect, but I just doubt it because that's not the way they operate, and it's worked out fine for them for years. But Chelsea, you have to
Hey,
give your pick. Give who do you think? You don't have to worry about my feelings. Do you think the Ravens take the division, or you think Pittsburgh? You think I'm gonna be here on Monday?
so is TJ Watt playing or is he not playing?
He is a game time decision at the moment. Same with Lamar,
So even if he does play, he's probably going to be on a snap count.
probably. He had a
Okay.
lung issue, so I doubt they're gonna play him
Yeah.
70 plays.
Do you know about Lamar? Like, is Lamar tracking to play?
Same thing. He's limited in practice. At this point, we just have to guess. I'm assuming both of them don't play, honestly.
If they
That
both don't play, I'm probably still taking the Ravens
okay.
because I think the Ravens have better offensive weapons. They're going to tune in on Henry, the Steelers, more likely than not. That's what I would do if I were
Yeah.
calling the defense. But Zay Flowers has had a good couple of games. He's kind of emerged a bit in that offense. You still have Mark Andrews, who's still a weapon. I mean, you still have, even though they shouldn't rotate Derrick Henry out, you still have other offensive weapons. You have Rashad Bateman on that team. And Snoop Huntley, honestly, is serviceable. If he just doesn't make any major mistakes, he can go like 15 of 20 for 200 yards probably in passing against a bad defense. So I don't know if he would do that against you guys because I think if your defense plays up to its potential, it's actually pretty good. That's just been the problem this year. They haven't played up to their potential. Um, if Lamar and TJ play, I don't know. I think I'm still going to take the Ravens. I just think the DK loss is a huge loss, and I think the Washington loss is really big too. I just think it's going to be hard for them to score points
Yeah.
because unless they just go and sign someone off a practice squad and that person just happens to go off, I don't know. Even though it's at Pittsburgh, which definitely plays into their advantage, I'll be surprised if Pittsburgh wins this game.
Okay, that's fair.
Even with Aaron Rodgers and his big game pedigree and, the fact that he'll make the Hall of Fame and all of that. I mean, all of that is great if you have people to throw the ball to, but if you don't, like he can't throw the ball to himself.
No, so
I think the only way that Pittsburgh wins this game is if their running backs go off.
okay, no, that's
Like if
fair.
Jalen Warren and what's his face, the other guy, if
Gainwell,
they,
Gainwell.
yeah, Philip Gainwell, if they both go off, or Kenneth,
Kenneth.
who was I know a Philip
Yeah,
Gainwell from
who's
somewhere.
Philip come
I
from?
don't know. I feel like I know that name from somewhere. Anyway, yeah, so they're going to need Warren and Gainwell to go off. If Gainwell, because Gainwell has had some really good games this season. I mean, he's had some 75 passing or receiving yard, two touchdown games. So if they can get the running backs involved, I think they can win this game. But if they don't do that and they don't get involved in the passing game, I just don't see them winning this game personally.
Okay,
I
that's
still think it'll be low scoring though,
yeah.
especially if Lamar doesn't play. Like it'll be close. It'll probably be like, I don't know, 14 to 10 or something.
The NFL was like, really, the last game of the regular season was gonna be just a four. But no, that's
Watch
still
it be like 47 to 45. That would be
that.
crazy.
I would just laugh. I wouldn't even be upset at that point. I was like, what is this? Who cares? But
You're like, at least it's entertaining.
yeah, so okay, so that's we separate on that prediction. And the next one we got the Panthers and Tampa, which is technically the first game. It's the first game of the week 18 because that's the afternoon Saturday game. The Panthers just beat Tampa just 2 weeks ago, 23-20. Tampa's on a downward nosedive at this point. Does Tampa and do they're in Tampa Bay, I believe, right? They are in
Yes,
Tampa
they're
Bay.
playing at Tampa.
Does that even matter at this point? Because I mean, they've been losing games in Tampa. They've been losing games outside Tampa. They'll lose games in Europe. They'll lose games in Africa. I don't. It's just Tampa's. Is why are we playing Week 18 in Africa?
Wait,
But
what?
but just the fact that I hate to see Todd Bowles go out like this. I do think Baker's hurt, but even then,
For sure.
if you're really that hurt, you kind of hurt your team by trying to force yourself to play. At least Lamar sits out. And we saw this happen with Baker at the end of Cleveland when he was trying to play with Cleveland with a bum shoulder in his last year, and he just couldn't get the job done. So at a certain point, I'm happy that the Panthers will potentially host a playoff game, knock on wood. But the fact is, I just looked at Tampa and just like, guys, you guys were what? 2 years ago, you were taking down the Eagles and you were destroying Philadelphia in the playoffs. Last year, you barely lost against the Commanders, who basically went on a miracle run.
A few years ago, you had Tom Brady. Look where you are now.
A few years ago, you won the Super Bowl. And now, just like Todd Bowles, it looks like this is his job. This is it. If he does not win this game, he does not last until he gets fired for the new year. And
So, are you taking the Panthers then? Because I know the
yeah,
Panthers won in week 16. It is hard to beat a team twice, but I just think the Panthers are more skilled at this point. I think they have less talent on offense, but I think their defense is so much better that that will compensate, especially with Baker playing hurt. I mean, watch Mike Evans have like 250 yards and 3 touchdowns and them lose.
to me, that even if he does, I just don't think Tampa has a good defense. Yeah, I think Bryce Young, unless I'm not sure which Bryce we're
It's his
getting.
good week. It's his good
Yeah.
week. He lost last week, so he'll be good this week.
This is like, yeah, you're facing a weaker defense against a good Bryce Young. This quarterback's ridiculous.
Good.
This we
Good's a
got
strong word.
So we got like a top tier. Yeah, we know what bad Bryce Young is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. Good Bryce Young is a top tier quarterback.
Yeah. And it's interesting when you look at this game because, man, it feels like not even a year or two ago, Tampa Bay had a top defense. Like, are they just hurt? Like, I don't understand how this happened.
It's the
I mean, they
NFL.
they went from being amazing, just a couple of years ago when they were in the Super Bowl and the playoffs to now whatever this is. It just seems like they just fell off a cliff.
It's the NFL. Nothing lasts forever. Everything's year to year. Pittsburgh
Yeah,
had
that's true.
Pittsburgh had an awesome defense last year. Now look at them.
It
Um,
should have been more awesome this year, which is the worst part.
oh, don't remind me. So yeah, I think this is probably going to be a somewhat high scoring game. I think it's going to be, I'm going to say 31 to 24 Carolina.
Yeah,
And
I'm probably gonna go like 27-20 Carolina.
yeah, so just I hate to see Tampa go out like this because we not only did we both have them for the season
Division.
division,
Hmm.
there was so many times they could have just like they won one game out of the
They
past few
really
weeks.
choked it away. I mean, this was bad.
Like this
This
if
was worse than the Colts almost. Okay, maybe not that bad, but it
it
was
no
still bad.
oh no, it was easier with the Colts 'cause at least the Colts have the excuse that they lost their best player to an
I
injury.
mean, they were winning games, more games when they were hurt on offense than when everyone came back. That's the crazy part. When Evans and Godwin were both out, they were winning games.
I can't imagine this is like me watching the Steelers last week against Cleveland. That's must have been Tampa fans for the past month. Like we just
Probably.
have to win one game. One
Yeah, we
game
had
and we don't
someone in the comments on one of the TikToks who was like, "Are we going to talk about Tampa? Like what on earth happened to Tampa?" And I'm like, "Don't worry, my friend. We'll talk about Tampa."
and I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry for you.
Um so no, it's great. I think they get better next year in terms of if once they
Yeah.
get healthier, but
They have offensive talent like for days. Like McMillan and Ibuka, who are both rookies. I mean, I think McMillan had over 100 yards last week. They definitely have talent. I mean, Edwin's Godwin and Evans are going to leave and retire eventually. I mean, Godwin was hurt for what, three-fourths of the year. Mike
despite
Evans
yeah,
injured his hamstring again. So,
uh,
they probably still have a couple years left in them, but, they're going to start steadily declining because that's just what happens. But they have talent. I mean, even look at Sean Tucker, who's technically the RB3 on that team. When everyone else was hurt, Sean Tucker was putting up 100-yard games. So it's not
yeah,
like they don't have talent.
yeah, the offense to me is not the problem. The
Yeah,
offense
they
is still
definitely need
even
defense.
even when Baker's his limited capacity at the moment, I still trust that offense. I don't trust that defense whatsoever. And maybe
Yeah.
that's something we'll have to work on in the offseason. And well, one thing we can say about the next two teams, the last team we're talking about, the honestly probably the best game, at least in terms of the two sides.
For sure.
Both these teams really don't have much to work on in the future. Seattle's traveling to San Francisco. They played week one, which was a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Tampa. San Francisco won 17-13. And wow, just a lot of stuff
How the
happened between
mighty have fallen since then, huh?
yeah, yeah, the fact that the San Francisco fallen, gotten back up, dust themselves off, it's just been crazy. And
Hmm.
I'm just like amazed. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep just gushing over this 49ers. How the heck are they going to be potentially the number one seed in the NFC?
It's crazy.
And now I remember this. They had reports yesterday that CMC is skipping a missed practice. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That was my exact
Oh no.
reaction. This
Maybe they're just resting him.
I honestly think they're just resting him. I think if something came out, it would have been out now. Knock on wood. I'm saying that a lot this podcast. Um, it would be terrible just the after all this year. See, now's the time CMC finally goes down with an injury.
That would just be just peak 49ers
Luck.
2025 season for like people to get healthy and then in the final most important of this season, McCaffrey gets hurt. I really don't want to see that.
And
I told him, I was like, Conlon, when this game comes on Saturday at 4:30, I'm breaking out my OG Panthers Christian McCaffrey jersey and my new Panthers beanie I got for Christmas. I'm all Panthers, baby. Let's go.
no, it'll be peak San Francisco if CMC gets hurt and they still win somehow because that's
Yeah.
just the way. Because Brock Purdy actually came out and just slung the well, if to steal an old football quote, he slung the pill and he's just I'm happy that Bryce Young is now getting more respect than being from, oh, he's just good because he has a good surrounding cast to now. No, he's a fairly talented quarterback. He will occasionally have like a gunslinger mentality, but he's mobile. He knows how to light up a football field. I like the fact that he granted against the Bears defense, but that's still an NFL defense. It's not the Bengals, so yeah.
Oh, you mean Brock Purdy. You said Bryce Young. I was like, oh
Oh,
yeah, Brock. I was like, Brock
did I say
Purdy.
Bryce Young? Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. Yeah,
Brock
no, Brock
Purdy.
Purdy, we talked about that on the episode on Tuesday. Kind of about how, people are like, oh, he's just a product of the Shanahan system. Oh, this, oh, that. And to some degree, I think he is a product of the Shanahan system because Shanahan is just that good of a coach. I think everyone who plays there is a
Yeah.
product of the Shanahan system. But man, I mean, you lose Kittle, you don't have Ayuk, Debo is long gone, you have McCaffrey, you're playing with Jawan Jennings and a bunch of
Uh,
people that,
Piss all
no
missed half
one.
the season.
Yeah, Pierce all missed a lot. I mean, you do have Kyle Juszczyk though. So I mean, any team that has Kyle Juszczyk is always going to be in the running.
I don't
But
know
yeah,
how sarcastic you are when you keep
no,
saying
no, no, no,
that.
no, no, no. Let me just tell you, last year in the fantasy draft, I took Kyle Juszczyk in like the 14th round because I had a feeling. Yeah, everyone laughed at me. I think he got dropped in like the third week. But I had a feeling because he gets those goal line touchdowns. It just didn't work out for me. So now I'm a big Kyle Juszczyk fan. So if he could get a touchdown in this game, that'd be great.
Because he's such a good player, but he's just not a good fantasy player in no way, shape, or
I learned
form.
that, yes. I had a feeling. My feeling was painfully incorrect.
But yeah, so that's the San Francisco side. And Seattle, after dismantling the Panthers last week and winning arguably the game of the year against on Thursday night against the Rams, I think I'm not gonna say it's time to say Sam Darnold is like end the whole narrative on Sam Darnold because I want you to see it in the playoffs. But it was a big step forward in my opinion. The
Especially
step
against the Rams.
granted that step can be easily taken back if he throws like four picks against San Francisco. But I don't think no Caleb Williams lit up San Francisco last week and they're around the same caliber quarterback, so I doubt he's gonna have another drop off game. I'm just happy the fact that Darnold's playing so well after he ended last year just terrible with the losses to the Lions and then the loss in the playoffs. It was just it was not
Left a sour taste in Vikings fans' mouths for
it left a
sure.
sour taste
Now
in
they
everyone's
probably
mouth
wish that he was back.
easily.
How the turntables.
How did so yeah, I guess the last thing we gotta say is who do we got? Who do you got? Chelsea? We've agreed on everything. Let's go see do we go 3 for 3?
I'm taking Seattle in this game. I know it's at San Francisco, and I know the 49ers won a long time ago in week one. I just like Seattle's defense better. Though apparently Fred Warner could come back in the NFC Championship game. That would be the craziest storyline of the season, arguably. But yeah, I just like the defense better. I do like Purdy better than Darnold, though. So it'll be interesting. I just think Seattle's defense is so good that it's going to be just enough to hold them off. I will say it wouldn't shock me if San Francisco won this game. Like, I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I'm going to take Seattle by a small margin.
Well, we were almost perfect. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
of course you have to take San Francisco. I expect nothing less.
because first of all, that was my pick at the
I
beginning of the
know.
season.
That's mostly why he's picking them, you
No, no,
guys.
no. Between again, I always go to my thing like if two even teams picked a bad quarterback, these quarterbacks are basically the same in terms of caliber. I'm not sure, okay, who just quickly, who do you pick, Purdy or Darnold in terms of better quarterback?
I would probably take Purdy.
I might take Purdy too, and it's close, but I don't think that's a good measurement, the best measurement. Because I think it's like this then. It's very
I don't know. I
oh
think
really?
Purdy is better than Darnold. I mean, Purdy's lows are not as low as Darnold's, so that's why I'm taking Purdy.
I don't think anyone's lows is as low as Darnold. And when Darnold goes low,
Well, there you go.
he goes 5 picks low.
If I, like I said earlier in the season, when the Colts were still relevant and ranked as the number one team in the NFL, if I were, I know he already got a big extension, with Seattle, but I'm saying if I were a Seahawks fan and it were a 1 year deal for Sam Darnold, kind of like the Colts with Daniel Jones, I would uncomfortably extend him. Like, I
Mm.
think he's good enough to extend, but his inconsistency worries me. So There's another example, kind of like with Daniel Jones. I would uncomfortably extend him. I do think he's proven especially at the end of the season, he can win big games. I mean, he played terrible in the first quarter against the Rams, and look what happened. I mean, he looked great the rest of the game. So he's definitely taken a step forward. I just don't want to see him take that step backward again. You know what I mean?
No, that's fair. That's fair. And like I said, I can see either team winning. I'm going to say 28-24. It's going to be a good game, a close game. I do think the defense, San Francisco's defense plays better than it did last week. Last week, I was surprised how much the Bears, yeah,
The Bears
now I'm
had to
doing
get
it.
it. Hey, it was just a matter of time before Daniel started doing it. So,
How much they were able to, basically, that was just like an old school, not even old school, that was just like a high scoring college football game.
yeah, that was fun
But
to watch.
so I don't see them giving up how many, what, 35, 38 points again.
Yeah.
And I can see Dawn having like one or two questionable throws because he usually has one or two questionable throws every week. It's just a question of whether or not it gets picked off or not. So
Right.
I will say congratulations to San Francisco for getting the number one seed. CMC, hopefully you're playing and you can again prove why you're the MVP that's not going to win MVP this year.
Like Saquon last year. Yeah. I'm going
Yeah.
to take Seattle 27 more, but like I said, I think it could go either way. It wouldn't shock me if the 49ers won this game.
So yeah, that's it. That's it for the regular season. It's been a crazy. And the fact that Philip Rivers came back in the NFL and that wasn't the craziest story this year just shows you how crazy this NFL season
I
can
know,
be.
and he extended his life insurance for his 10 children. So, you got to do what you got to do.
He also extended,
Or
but
not his life insurance, his health insurance, I mean.
trust me, playing football does not
Though his
extend your
life
life.
insurance is probably a crazy expensive also.
I can't see playing football is going to be able. Oh, you extend your life insurance. I'm playing professional football. That's how that works.
Yeah, I definitely meant health insurance with that one.
But no, just the fact that I mean, Rodgers looked a lot better than he did last year. The Colts for half the season looked like the best team in the league, and then the injury bug hit them, destroyed them. San Francisco got hit with the injury bug immediately, and they turned out fine. The Eagles are winning
Would
games,
have
and
loved for that to happen to my team, by the way, just as an aside.
yeah, the Eagles just like they don't even look like a good team. They're probably and they're still gonna be one of the best teams in the NFL.
Man, the Lions not making the playoffs?
Like
Crazy.
the Cowboys somehow somewhat winning the Micah trade because they were able to get Quentin Williams and a couple first round picks out of that.
The Chiefs not making the playoffs and Mahomes suffering that bad injury. Jacksonville potentially being the one seed in the AFC.
Joe
Crazy.
Joe Flacco looking like the best quarterback in the league and can't win the game because his defense is
I know.
terrible.
And then Joe Burrow not being in the playoffs either.
The fact that everyone thought the Chargers were done for, and the Chiefs are done for. Look at the Chiefs. Like,
Yeah.
no one expected anything from the AFC West, where people expected the Raiders to be bad. But no, aside from that, everyone else like, wow, Denver's one of the top teams. The Chargers are up there, and the Chiefs are now rebuilding.
Man, the Giants like going into the season thinking they were not going to be good and then having hope because they had Scattaboo and Neighbors before he got hurt and Jackson Dart and then it all being snatched so quickly out of their hand because they all got hurt. At least Jackson Dart with his concussion. I know he's okay
Yeah.
now, but
So
it really was a crazy year.
it's a crazy year, and hopefully it's be even crazier postseason.
I
Chelsea,
have no doubt.
Chelsea, tell us where you can find us so they can follow us every step of the way.
Yeah, check us out on our social media, guys. Thank you for listening. Tune back in on Tuesday, where we will have our next episode out. Follow us on our socials. We are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at Launch Codes Football. We are on X at Launch Codes FB, and we are working on creating a community on a Chat BCC, which is a chat room app. So if you're interested in joining that, send us a DM on one of our other socials, and we can send you the link to that. I'm Chelsea,
I'm Daniel.
and we will see you next week.
Have a great 2026, everyone.
Go Steelers?
Yeah, go Colts, just for the fun of it.
Come on, Panthers.